Swift Gaia, the Fierce Knight. Card type, Monster. Attribute, Dark. Types, Warrior. Effect, Level 7, Attack 2300, Defense 2100. If this is the only card in your hand, you can normal summon this card without tributing. Card trivia, Swift Gaia, the Fierce Knight. This monster is a cover card for Dark Beginning 2, Beginner's Edition 2, Beginner's Edition 2, 2011, Retro Pack 2, Deck Custom Pack 1, The Collectible Tins 2004, and Duelist Legacy Volume 4. Either this monster or Gaia the Fierce Knight appears in the artworks of Baton of the Hero, Heroes Guild, and Spiral Spear Strike. A number of the secret rare tin versions of this card were printed with a super rare background instead of a secret rare background. This monster is a retrained version of Gaia the Fierce Knight. It also has several counterparts. A Synchro monster counterpart, Gaia Knight, the Force of Earth. A fusion monster counterpart, Gaia Drake, the Universal Force. An Xyz monster counterpart, Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger. A Link monster counterpart, Gaia Saber, the Lightning Shadow. This card has its own retrained version, Lord Gaia the Fierce Knight. This card's effect to normal summon itself without attributing monsters references the standard rules of duel monsters during the Duelist Kingdom arc in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga and anime, which allowed players to normal summon high-level monsters without attributing monsters. As such, during the Duelist Kingdom tournament, Gaia the Fierce Knight was often normal summoned from the hand. This card's OCG and TCG artwork is taken from the title page for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel 125, Duelist Duel 66. Seen through? Card appearances, Swift Gaia the Fierce Knight, Yu-Gi-Oh! In episode 101, Yami Yugi uses this card during his duel against Gansley. He normal summons this card without tribute due to it being the only card in his hand. Yugi then tributes Karibo in order to activate the effect of Rainbow Blessing, allowing this card to attack directly this turn. This card then attacks directly. The Deckmaster ability of Deep Sea Warrior doesn't work on direct attacks, winning Yugi the duel. In episode 103, Yugimoto uses this card while he was going through a door puzzle. After Yugi summons this card, he uses this card to attack the level 3 door monster, Dark King of the Abyss, but the door activates Mirror Force to destroy this card. This card also appears in a flashback Taya Gardner has when she remembers Yugi talking about Mahavelo looking similar to him and having a great power inside its effects. In episode 221, Yami Yugi uses this card during his duel against Yugimoto. He discards this card in order to special summon the Tricky from his hand. 2 episodes later, Yami Yugi activates Awakening from Beyond to add this card from his graveyard to his hand. Since this card is the only card in Yami Yugi's hand, he normal summons this card without tribute. This card then attacks and destroys Buster Blader, whose attack was 2100 due to it being equipped with Archfiend of Gilfer. Yugimoto then activates Soul Rope to special summon Witch of the Black Forest from his deck. Later, Summoned Skull attacks and destroys this card. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. This card appears in the show's Japanese closing song Borderline Battle. In episode 180, Yugi uses this card during his duel against Jaden Yuki. He normal summons this card with no tributes as it was the only card in his hand. This card then attacks and destroys Elemental Hero Sparkman. Later, Elemental Hero Blade Edge attacks and destroys this card. The effect of Impact Flip then activates, forcing Yugi to send the top card of his deck to the graveyard.